violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
About 30 minutes ago, the family of a child shot in South Memphis last night sent us pictures of the young victim. This is 7-year-old Legend Johnson at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital right now, just hours.
Man, shout out to this kid. He's already a legend in the game. Shot at 7 years old. He could drop a mixtape tomorrow. It would go crazy. But this is a tragedy, nonetheless, even though he appears to be in stable conditioning. I'm telling you, women, children, these super gremlins, they don't care.
Hours after he was shot. Tonight, there are still so many unanswered questions about this case. Fox 13's Carolyn Serta is at the Crump station with an update.
Yeah, police updating their information saying that that victim is not 4 years old, but 7 years old. A 7-year-old boy, still a child shot. And they say that they now believe that the suspect or suspects did know that victim. Police say that this all unfolded around 7 o'clock last night on Odysse Avenue. That's
wow, man. These super gremlins. These dudes ain't ish, bro. The fact that this super gremlin shot a 7-year-old boy that he knew on purpose is different. Like, how are you beefing with a 7-year-old? You really got a 7-year-old out here who's the ops to somebody. I mean, this is crazy.
near East Person and Gaither Avenue, which is near Calvary Cemetery, that area. Now, as far as the suspect, police say, again, that they believe that whoever did this shooting knew the victims, and also that they drove away from the scene in a white 4-door Infiniti. So that is all the information that they have on the suspect identity that they are releasing. And at this hour, the manhunt is continuing. We're going to, of course, keep you updated on whether or not those suspects are caught. Meantime, that child, that 7-year-old, was taken to Le Bonheur in critical condition, and at last check, that young boy was recovering. In South Memphis, Carolyn Serta, Fox 13 News.
Caught in crossfire, a 7-year-old is recovering in the hospital tonight after he was shot in a drive-by shooting. Good evening, I'm Joe Burch.
I'm Kanji Anthony. Action News 5's Parker King spoke with the child's family today. Parker, you've learned that this is not the first time this home has been part of a drive-by shooting.
It's not, Joe and Kanji. The family actually tells me today this is the third time their house has been shot at in recent years, and they say they know who did it.
The third time. This is in Memphis. We just did the story on Jeremiah Taylor, young Dolph's homie who was keeping up with his mural. Just was killed in Memphis. So I wanted to stay on Memphis. I wanted to apply pressure because Memphis is like no other. If you guys watch that video, which I suggest you go watch, one of the women in there, she said that you can't go out to dinner, you can't go to the movies without looking over your shoulder. Why do you think that is? Because the influx of super gremlins on demon time.
Just after 7 o'clock Wednesday evening, several shots were fired into this home on Odysse Avenue in Memphis. The lone victim, 7-year-old Legend Johnson.
It was terrible. I panicked and I rushed here as fast as I could.
Legend's aunt, Katrina Johnson, was at work at the time and arrived on scene shortly after he was taken to Le Bonheur in critical condition.
All I could think about is his little face and, you know, how small he is. And I thought, I thought the worst.
The family claims to know who fired into the home, telling us this is the third time their home has been shot at, all by the same person.
Wow, so what we doing, community? Are we snitching or we letting it ride? We know who did it? Are we reporting them? What we doing?
Memphis police have not released the name or whether charges have been sought.
Clearly, they're reckless and they have no type of regard for human life because they know that it's a lot of women and children that live here.
Fortunately,
so they know who's the target. They know who's the target. They also know that the family members of those people live there. So whatever beef, whoever, not Legend, obviously, because he was just caught up in it. But whatever beefs that the target is in, bruh, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Because now you got to go and do something back. It's just like, it's different.
the family received word that Legend is now stable, up, talking, and watching TV, as his aunt tells us, soon to be released to come home.
Even when it happened, he was telling us, I'm okay, I'm okay. He been strong the whole time. It's really amazing. I said, I know God has been with him this whole time.
A spokesperson for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital tells us already this year 16 children have been treated for gunshot wounds while in their care, Johnson being the latest addition to that. Memphis police add on to that statistic, saying 4 children have died this year from gunshot wounds. Live in Memphis, Parker King.
4 children died from gunshot wounds. We ain't even 4 months into 2022, which is going to be the year of demon time.
Action News 5.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Someone child died last night in the same hospital that Legend was in, the same age, in his room, playing his game. Legend was in his room, watching his TV.
A 7-year-old boy minding his own business, shot, you heard, while at his home in his room. And tonight he's recovering at Le Bonheur Children's Hospital with his mom, who you just heard from, by his side. That mother spoke with Fox 13's Lakia Scott today.
Wow. Lakia, she's overcoming a scary and tragic moment. It's one no mother wants to face and should have to face.
That's right, exactly. That scary is what one Memphis mom experienced last night when her 7-year-old son was shot. Now, Janice Dawson tells me that she's been inside of this building, Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, ever since last night. She says she's not leaving his side, and she tells me that this experience has taught her how to cherish every single moment.
He's not paralyzed. He's eating. He's moving around. He's coloring. He's using his fingers, his toes. He's using his muscles. No nerve problem.
A day after her 7-year-old son was shot, Janice Johnson says she's beyond thankful that he still lived to see another day.
They say have your child home before 10. My child been home since 4:45, and my son was shot, you know.
And it don't help that you staying in the house. People like, oh, well, he shouldn't have been here. He shouldn't have been there. Look, in the community, you shouldn't have been there, period. And you don't even have to be in the community nowadays. These super gremlins are, you know, spreading their wings and flying off to all other areas. That's why when they get hit for a charge, they end up in a whole nother state. Okay, so nowhere's safe, you know, unless you're living in the middle of nowhere.
It's 7 o'clock in the evening.
Janice says she got the tragic phone call last night while she was at work. When she rushed home, she was met with yellow crime scene tape that covered her front yard.
My son was shot. You know, the bullet went inside his left hip, came out backwards. A piece of it traveled not to his original spine, but his canal spine, which means the spine that protect our original spine.
Her son, Legend Johnson, was in his bedroom last night, just being a kid and watching TV, when gunfire erupted, ultimately hitting the boy. And even in the wake of the mishap, Janice says she realizes it could have been worse.
Someone's child died last night in the same hospital that Legend was in, the same age. In his room, playing his game. Legend was in his room, watching his TV. I can't be nothing but grateful.
Now, Janice tells me that Legend is in good spirits tonight, and he is recovering as well. Now, a bit of a shocker, she also shares with me that she experienced the same thing about 5 months ago in the same home where she was shot. Now, coming up at 10, Janice will share with us how these two shootings have changed her outlook on life. Reporting live from Le Bonheur, Lakia Scott, Fox 13 News.
Yeah, good morning, Val. This morning we do know that a 19-year-old is now facing charges for that shooting that left that 7-year-old boy injured in this shooting about 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago to this day is when that shooting happened. Now, overnight, Memphis police arrested Larriel Gill. Now,
all right, definitely got the neck tattoos, so looks like he rocks that way. He's, you know, he's of that ilk. He's a street dude, you know what I mean? Like real street Memphis dude. And this is how these Super Gremlins rocking, bruh. So I'm not saying that every dude with a neck tattoo is on demon time, but a lot of these dudes who is getting banged up for shooting kids definitely got either neck or face tattoos. Like, I think there's a level of criminality. Like, once you know what I mean? Like, once the Super Gremlin has, like, the face tattoos, you at the point where you just slaughtering families. Right? Like, crazy face tattoos everywhere. The neck tattoos is like, okay, yeah, I done some robberies. I done some home invasions. That's really how it is nowadays. Now, you'll find a few dudes who got the neck tattoos. They just like tattoos. They love tattoos, and they ain't really on no type of demon time. But honestly, that's a smaller percentage. I'm going to just keep it real. Okay?
Now, they believe that this is the person responsible for that shooting. It happened on February 9th. And again, it injured that 7-year-old boy. This all happened in the 900 block of Doris Avenue. The boy's mother identified the child as 7-year-old Legend Johnson. Janice Johnson told us that gunshots could be heard firing in her neighborhood that night. And one of those bullets entered Legend's room. This is while he was just in his room watching television that night. She said that bullets entered his room and one of them hit him in the hip. Now, thankfully, the boy's mother told us that he was recovering and doing well in his recovery at last time we spoke with her. So that is the good news. Meantime, the suspect captured overnight, Gill, now faces several charges, and they include attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault, unlawful possession of a firearm, among other charges. Now, we are working to find out more details about what exactly led to this shooting. We are working to get an affidavit from the police to bring you more information on how this all unfolded. But again, a 19-year-old now charged in that shooting that injured.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.